morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Wow, great energy. I love that. I was very much happy to listen your words. First of all, I would like to welcome you all to BLDE family. I feel very happy to see you in the campus very soon. Yes, as you all know, it's a noble profession. We should be the part of it. So first of all, I start with welcoming you to the campus, BLDE University. Moving with the today's schedule. Hope you have already learned many things related to your topics, related to ethics, related to the profession. So many of the things have been already taught to you. So today I'll be just briefing you your I can say the PU college itself, like before medical course, whatever knowledge was there, that will just glance it once in the form of certain small topics. For that, if you look at one picture in the first slide, you can see this person here. You can see what exactly is the human body is made up of. By looking at that, you can think many of the structures what actually has been made here. Okay, so can anyone tell me what are the different composition of a person, of a human body? Yes, anyone? One.
Sir, bones and the muscles.
Very good. Then
Blood vessels, nerves.
Nervous system.
Water.
super correct.
Sir, tissues, organs, cells.
Exactly.
Vessels.
Very correct. All what you are saying.
Biomolecules.
Exactly correct. You say like many of you are telling the organs, many of you are telling some bones, many of you are telling muscles, vessels. So many of the structures you are telling. All these structures are made up of what actually?
Cells.
Organ systems.
Yes, there should be a cell, there should be a tissue. Very correct. So there should be a cell and there should be a tissue. Let us see today briefly about the tissue, a basic tissue and the classification. As you look at that human, so you saw heart, you can look at the picture here, heart, it is made up of some of the tissue and cells. If you look at the brain, it is also made up of some cells and the tissue. If you look at some muscle and its different parts, it is also made up of some cells and tissue. If you look at the different organs of GIT, they have been also made up of some cells and tissue. Basically, what I wanted to convey you here is each and every part of the body has been meant by a cell, and the cell grouped together, it forms the tissue. This is a basic concept which we have learned since from I think 7th standard, 5th or 6th standard. Kirtan? It's reflecting for others also, Kirtan. It is not only for you. Kirtan is there? Yeah. So basically, we all already know that each of the parts of the human body or any of the, like you take plants, you take any other animals, they have been made up of different types of cells and different types of tissues. We know already the definition of cells, definition of tissue. So I think We no need to revise it. Do we need to recollect once? Anybody want to define cell and tissue? Anyone? One by one. Make it interactive.
Cell is structural and functional unit of life.
Group
Where
of cells
tissue
make a
is the
tissue.
group
cells are
of
called
cells
tissue.
which perform functions together.
Good. Yeah, like as I said, it is a structural and functional unit, cell is, and similarly, as I said, similar type of structures and similar actions what it is doing based on that, a group of cells together, we call it as the tissue. Very correct, you're right. Okay, so that tissue, we are actually, as we come to the anatomy, basically anatomy is not only the study of large organs and all. Okay, we need to go to the micro level of each and every structure present in the body. So similarly, in the body, if we see a brain, or if you see a heart or a lung or a kidney, whatever organ we see, that has to be seen with its cellular level. So in anatomy, we should learn how exactly, you know already the definition of anatomy, like study of the structures of the body, human body. Okay, so similarly, when we are studying these structures, we should look into the cellular level itself. So when we are looking at the cellular level, how do we get those tissues? As I was already mentioning you, each of the body parts have been made up of basic tissues. So a small part of a tissue we collect from the body, okay, that has to be processed. This tissue has to be processed. So that is actually called as tissue processing. Okay, after processing, we get a slide like this. Hope you can see my pointer. Okay, this is a pointer where exactly it is showing a slide. Can you all see my pointer?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
ma'am.
sir.
Very nice. Okay, so this slide, how it is prepared, just let me tell you in a small 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, that tissue processing it is called as. Okay, before that, what I'm talking today is under one of the branch of anatomy. That is actually the histology. Histology, you know no? Already?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So in histology, we learn about the micro levels of the structures of the body. Okay. So to study them, we have been organizing the histology classes in two different ways. One is theory, and another one is practical. So two different ways we organize classes, theory and the practical. Usually, theory will be taught to you well in advance, and immediately after the theory, in the next week, you will be doing the practical of the same thing. So what I wanted to convey you here is, okay, the schedule of the classes, what we teach you, okay, that contains theory, practical both for histology. Theory, if we teach you on Saturday, next Monday to Saturday, we will go practical on the same topic. So histology class, when the theory is going on, you should be alert about that. Accordingly, you should prepare and come for the practical. That is what is my concern over here. Okay, so when you are coming for the practical, there we will be showing you that slide which was taught to you during theory class. That is one thing. Okay, yeah, now I was telling you, when you come to the histology practical class, there what we do there, we just look into the each and every slides. Okay, so histology, we cannot study like at once. So we divide them into general histology slides and systemic histology slides. Hope you are getting what I'm saying. There are two sets of slides we come across with, approximately 56 to 72 slides are there. Among them, which is essential for you, only those slides we will be teaching you. Okay, not all the slides we will teach you. We will teach you the required thing, which is very much essential for you. Those slides only we will teach you. So you should be aware of such slides. Okay, and I told you all these histology slides have been classified into general histology slides and systemic histology slides. you can understand by now itself. Okay, so in the general histology slides, we come across with these basic tissues, 4 basic tissues. Okay, and we come across with some blood vessels, some glands, and we come across with the blood vessels. Okay, and the lymphatic organs, skin. These all organs come under the general slides. Okay, after general slides, we will teach you the systemic slides. Okay, like cardiovascular system, excretory system, reproductive system, gastrointestinal digestive system. Okay, in that way, so we will be teaching you the systemic slides. Okay, so in an exam also, your exam pattern also will be in the same way. One slide you will be discussed on general, and one slide will be on systemic. Forget about the exam. Exam is secondary. It is just a part of the way for your learning. Okay, always you should not be worried about the exam. My concern is you should understand the subject thoroughly for your knowledge, not for the exam. Remember, I always tell this. Okay, fine. So I was telling you those slides what we see, either the general slides or the histology slide, how these slides are prepared. That preparation I was telling you, this is tissue preparation or tissue processing. Tissue processing. Okay, so this tissue processing is actually small tissue we collected by cutting it. Okay, and it has to be fixed first. Okay, means fixation. It is called as in the earlier days when microscope was not there, when these all instruments what you are looking at here or were not there. During that time, how they used to do historically, history when it was there earlier, how we have seen the slides, that is actually a very, very tremendous thing. What they used to do is just they used to cut the section, like make it thin, and they used to try to see against the sun by holding the tissue. Okay, they used to see nothing in that. Later on, they somehow found some mirrors, then they found some hand lenses. Okay, so then they started looking at the hand lenses. So with the hand lenses, somehow they could able to see some magnified images. Then they were impressed. Then the concept of microscope came. By the time already many of the inventions were there. So accordingly, even the microscope was also invented. And as this microscope invented, then the resolution has been increased to 1,500 times. Imagine just by one cell will be magnified for 1,500 times in a compound or a simple microscope itself when we keep and see. Okay, that is the concept. Later on, as they go, it has been again. Now we are like not satisfied for anything. Humans are always like that. We keep on inventing something. We keep on doing something. So similarly, the ultra microscope came, electron microscope came. So similarly, many of the inventions occurred with the electron microscope. Now we can see the same cell which was magnified for 1,500 times. Now it can be magnified for 10,000 times with the electron microscope. Look at the invention, how it is happening. Okay, so there is always scope for newer things, always scope for. Okay, we have to get adjusted with, we have to learn the inventions, we have to do the inventions. That is one of the concepts. So similarly, as these all changes went on, okay, there were no mechanism to make a tissue. So similarly, some of the inventions came here. You can see this machine. This was the microtome machine. You can look at the machine here. This is called as microtome. Microtome. It is the machine to cut the. See, you are seeing at the tissue here. This is the tissue has been processed in the different solutions here, called as 3 different steps: fixation, dehydration, clearing. After all this, okay, the tissue will be infiltrated in the paraffin wax, and now the tissue is inside the paraffin wax, and this paraffin embedded tissue will be fixed to this machine, and there is a blade over here. Okay, and with this blade, this tissue will be cut like this. You can look at the next picture over here. you are seeing the ribbon. This is the tissue, white thing just behind the pointer. I am removing the pointer. White thing, what you are seeing is the embedded tissue, and that tissue is the one which is cut over here. You are seeing the ribbons of tissues. I think I'm taking you somewhere else which you are never seen, which you have never heard. Okay, some different word. I just wanted to make you some interest towards some innovations. So this is what actually already you know, epithelium, muscular tissue, all these things you know already. So I just wanted to stimulate you towards some innovations. You have always option towards the innovation. You can always make some innovations in your routine day-to-day activities based on problem what you are facing. Okay, so this was the inventions made. This was the microtome, what it is called as. Okay, and with this we can take a tissue section of 3 to 4 micron. Imagine 3 to 4 micron. I'm telling you, such a thin section can be put up on a slide like this and can be stained. Okay, routinely we use hematoxylin and eosin staining procedure. It is called as very well known as H&E staining. It's called as H&E staining. H&E staining. So by preparing all this, we can have a slide like this. This is a slide which we see in the histology. Okay, so this slide, when we keep in microscope, we see all these different tissues. Okay, so by now already you know. Now coming to the topic, what are the different tissues, basic tissues we have in the human body? Already you know this. I think nothing is secret over here. Okay, you know the epithelial tissue, you know connective tissue, you know muscular tissue, and a nervous tissue. These are the 4 different basic tissue. All the organs, just now you all were telling, body is made up of lung, liver, kidney, vessels, that, this, and all many things you were telling about. Okay, all those organs what you are talking have been made up of only with these 4 basic tissues. Remember, okay, these are the 4 basic tissues which completely either single or multiple of these all tissues together, they form the body. Nothing else is there other than these 4 basic tissues in the body. Remember. So because of that, it's called as basic tissue. Basic tissue. It may be combination, or it may be single tissue at a certain level. So on that basis, we frame the body. This is the basic concept we should remember. Okay. Same 4 basic tissues, like you are looking at the epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscular tissue, and nervous tissue. How it is classified? Based on its function, based on its structure, based on its different appearances. So tissues has been classified into 4 basic tissues. Okay, among them, first one we saw epithelial tissue has been further divided into simple and stratified. The word simple is a single layered. Here it means single layered epithelium. The stratified epithelium, here it means stratified is multi-layered, more than 2 layers. So this is actually the stratified epithelium. Okay, under this we are finding squamous epithelium, we are finding cuboidal epithelium, columnar, pseudostratified. Similarly, under stratified epithelium, we come across with transitional epithelium, stratified squamous keratinized epithelium, stratified squamous non-keratinized epithelium. So these are the types of cells under the stratified epithelium. Okay. Similarly, as it comes to the connective tissue is again further divided into 2 different categories. Okay, simple and dense connective tissue, or simple or specialized connective tissue. Okay, so here simple connective tissue, when we say, again it is having a simple form of the all the components over here. When we say connective tissue, there should be a basic 3 components should be there, remember. Okay, when we say, listen carefully, when we say connective tissue, there should be a 3 basic components in the connective tissue. They include, number 1, the cells, number 2, the fibers, number 3, the ground substance. Hope I am making the point clear. Connective tissue is composed of 3 compositions: cells, fibers, and ground substance. Okay, cells may be of various types here. These are the different types of cells we see in the connective tissue. They include fibrocytes, fibroblasts, adipocytes, plasmocytes, mast cells, macrophages, leukocytes, pigment cells, mesenchymal cells. These are the different cells present in the connective tissue. And similarly, we come across with 3 different fibers. As you all already know, we have collagen fibers, elastic fibers, reticular fibers. Why I'm saying you already know, this has been already taught to you in your PU 1 or 2, and even it has been taught to you before this also. Even it is there in biology 10th standard, and it is there in even 7th standard. So all these things, you know, I'm just recorrecting these things. So remember, connective tissue means we should have cells, we should have fibers, and we should have a ground substance. Ground substance, what is this ground substance is? It is actually an homogeneous matrix. It is made up of some glucosamine glycans and proteoglycans, some combination of carbohydrate and protein material will be there, and which will be added upon by the fibers and by the cells, and that becomes the connective tissue. Okay, I was telling you in the beginning, connective tissue is having 2 types. Okay, loose and dense, where the occupancy of either the cells or fibers, if it is loosely arranged, where we call it as loose connective tissue, and similarly when the fibers or the cells occupied densely, there we call it as dense connective tissue. Hope my point is clear. Okay, so this is the dense and loose connective tissue, what I was telling you. And similarly, in the connective tissue, we talk about specialized connective tissue. All the cells what I mentioned you here are present in all the types of connective tissue. Other than this, the basic 3 components, other than these basic 3 components, if some specialized cells are there or some specialized components are there in the connective tissue, that will lead to a specialized connective tissue. So what are such examples? I'm talking now about the specialized connective tissue. Specialized connective tissue. So that specialized connective tissue, one of the example you might remember, somebody was telling just a few minutes before.
Blood.
Blood.
Yes, very correct. Blood. See,
Bone, cartilage,
very correct. Cartilage, very correct. And similarly, the bone.
bone,
Exactly. So blood, cartilage, and the bone. These are the specialized connective tissue. So what is the specialty in that then? Along with these ground substances, these 3 basic components, what is the special thing in the blood here now? We have many of the hemopoietic cells over there. It is actually the very loose extracellular fluid is there over there. Okay, many other components are there like hemoglobins, hemoglobin, iron, this. So many other components are there here. So different compositions are there. Along with these basic components, we have some more else. Because of that, it has become specialized connective tissue, blood. Similarly, bone, we see already the organic and inorganic components what we talk, especially those calcium, phosphate, all those inorganic components what are there in the bone. Definitely they make the bone harder. So that hardness is due to the inorganic components present in the bone. And those special appearance makes the bone a specialized connective tissue. Hope my point is clear. Similarly, the cartilage. Again, there also we have some of the there are some difference in the cell composition itself. We have the cells which are actually, there is no inorganic components over here. There are some chondrocytes present over here. these all make the tissue flexible. Because of that only I can squeeze my ear or your ear. Yes. So this is the nature of cartilage. So make it flexible. So on that basis, this has become specialized. So specialized connective tissue. So I was just briefing you about the connective tissues, simple and the specialized connective tissue, and the composition in connective tissue, a cell, a fiber, and the ground substance I was mentioning. Coming to the muscle. Muscle already we know very well. Many of you were telling about the muscles. We see throughout the body, everywhere, not only external appearance. Many a times muscle means we think that, okay, biceps. Okay, not only the biceps. There are many other muscles present. If I am talking here, all these movements are because of muscles. If I am looking at here, there are many muscles act around my eyeball. If I am swallowing something, my esophageal muscles will contract and relax, so that automatically the swallowed thing will be moved down and peristaltic movement can occur. So similarly, there are many types of muscles present over here. Okay, many areas muscles are present. Okay, they have been basically grouped into three categories. Okay, they are the muscles which are present around the skeletal system have been called as the skeletal muscle. The muscle which are present in and around the internal organs and vessels have been called as the smooth muscles. Second variety, and lastly the cardiac muscle. The muscle fiber which is there around the heart is actually the cardiac muscle. Okay, are the three different things. And finally, the nervous tissue. I was just classifying you the basic tissue. Okay, and here we come across with the nervous tissue, like we see brain, spinal cord, many nerve fibers are coming here. So the basic component of nervous tissue is the neuron, neuroglia, and their processes are the three important components, are three important microstructures of the nervous tissue. Remember, okay, neuron, you know already very well. You have already written about this many a times. Okay, neuron, and you know there is a cell body, there is a zoma, there is a dendrites. Okay, so all these processes and these processes itself, either the dendrite or the axon itself, forms the nerve fibers. Okay, and neuroglia is the one which is a supportive tissue for the neurons. Supportive tissue. Okay, it will provide the protection, it will provide the nourishment. So for the passage of blood vessels, it will help us. So and even makes blood-brain barrier at certain areas. So this is the one to help us for the neurons. Okay, so these are the three basic components in the nervous tissue. So that was actually the basic classification of tissue. Time is Chakri? Last 5 minutes. Okay. I have covered many things just on the basic components. Okay. Each of these basic, like if epithelial tissue, if you go, muscular tissue and connective tissue and nervous tissue, each one of them you will be taught to you in a separate theory class. Each tissue will be taught to you separately in a theory class, as well as it will be dealt to you in practical classes, and you will be shown with different examples. Okay, like epithelium and its classification and its appearance, where it is present. So all those things will be dealt to you in detailed manner. Okay, I'm just skipping off all these slides here. Okay, the simple epithelium, where it is present. You can see the lung here itself, how it appears. This is the appearance over here. Okay, simple epithelium itself, the squamous epithelium, what we call it as. Okay, is if you cut the lung over here, you will see the appearance of the cells of that in this form. Exactly the blue dots, what you are seeing is one squamous cell, blue dot, one squamous cell. So those such squamous cells together, they form the alveoli or lung, complete lung is formed here. Okay. Similarly, the cuboidal cell appearance over here. You can see the cube shape. The name itself is telling something. Okay, and you can see the columnar cells, the column shaped appearance. Okay, don't think that I'm going very fast. It will be dealt to you in detail in a different class. Okay, I'm just showing you the appearance. Already you have seen all these things. Okay, and here is a slide to show you the pseudo stratified. Pseudo is the word meaning is false. Pseudo, P-S-E-U-D-O, pseudo is actually the false. This false, like usually will be a single layer, but it appears double. You are with this multiple appearance over here. Okay, so that is called as pseudo appearance. So stratified, here it is multiple layers of cells. Okay, transitional is the best example for the stratified epithelium. Okay, and this transitional epithelium is very well known as, just before your seniors who are writing exams, this was one of the question. Transitional epithelium is an epithelium of which system? Was one of the MCQ. You just remember. Urothelium or urinary system. It is called as urothelium, and it is the urinary system. It is present in urinary system. It is one of the, just before yesterday only they have written an exam on this. Okay, and similarly this is the keratinized multi-layered epithelium, like stratified squamous, non-keratinized and keratinized epithelium. We come across with keratinization at the skin, and same thing at the oral cavity, non-keratinization. Okay, and connective tissue, different cells we see. You can see the different types of cells. I just show you the pictures of the cells. This is the connective tissue I'm talking now, and this is different cells I was telling, fibroblast and fibrocytes. This is actually the adult matured fibrocyte, and this is the developing fibroblast, which will be giving rise to fibrocytes. Okay, and fat cells, it is actually the signet ring shape, we say signet ring. Okay, exactly like a ring appearance. Hope it is visible. Exactly this ring appearance will be the fat cells. You see the ring appearance here. Okay, with the diamond gifted by your mama, just for fun. Okay, so this is the appearance of, you can see the ring appearance of the adipocytes. And plasma cells, you look at these plasma cells. These are the small cells you can appreciate over here. Okay. Here is actually the loose areolar tissue, what I was telling you, and you can see different types of fibers. A bundle, what you are seeing, this bundle is actually the collagen fibers. You will be dealt to you. Don't worry about that. Don't think that I'm going hurry. Each of these fibers, its characters, its staining properties, okay, how they will be present, where they will be present, everything will be dealt to you in detail. I'm just showing you the pictures now. Okay, it will be completely clearly told to you once again. Don't think that I'm going very fast. Okay, so these are different fibers you are seeing in this picture. Collagen fibers, and you are seeing at the elastic fibers, the wavy things, elastic fibers. And elastic means, you know, the flexible fibers. Okay, there are reticular fibers. Actually, they will be single in appearance. You can look at these fibers, single in appearance. Okay, they'll be more prominent towards the lymphatic organs. Okay. The same thing I was telling you in the beginning, general connective tissue and the specialized connective tissue I was telling you, the same cartilage, bone, and the blood, lymphatic organs I was telling you. Okay, coming to the muscular tissue, as I was telling you, this is the muscles present around the skeletal system, where we have the skeletal muscles present around the organs. We have the smooth muscles, the muscle architecture you can look at here, and similarly muscles around the heart, we can see the cardiac muscles. This is the microstructure, the cells, the individual blue color what you are seeing here, individual blue color what you are looking at is one myofiber, one muscle fiber, one single muscle it is, one single muscle. When we say a muscle, it is group of muscle fiber, group of fasciculi, group of a combined, when we say one muscle, it is a combination of all these things. Okay, so it is just one nucleus. What you are looking at is the one muscle fiber. Okay, and you can see the bundle here, one bundle, fasciculi we call it as. Okay, all these things will be dealt to you in detail, nothing to worry. Okay, the same thing once again, the smooth muscle and the skeletal muscle and the cardiac muscle. Okay, the same, the highlighted view you can look at. This is the one muscle fiber I was telling you. This is one muscle, smooth muscle fiber, and this is one cardiac muscle fiber. As already mentioned you, this is the neuron I was telling you. It was having processes, axons and all these things you have seen already. I am not saying you don't know this, you know already. This is a body, this is an axon, okay, these are an axon terminals, okay, and here are the dendrites, okay, and these will form the nerve fibers, and supporting the cells which are there over here, they form actually the neuroglia, neuroglia, they form actually the nervous tissue. Okay, that was just a brief, very brief, I can say you about this, and you will have an complete overview of each of the tissues. I'm telling you a theory on epithelial tissue, one class, and 2 practical classes will be there on epithelial tissue alone. You can imagine for connective tissue we have 2 theory classes and 3 practical classes on connective tissue. You can imagine how depth we will be going on. It isn't just to overwhelm, to just give an idea what exactly the body is made up of, what exactly the tissues are. Okay, that was just a brief, very brief, I can say you. So that brief overview of the basic tissues. Hope my way was clear and I made you understand something.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good. Any doubts? If you have any doubts, you can ask.
Rotational motion is
Somebody is telling I am not able to hear. What is that? Any doubts are there?
Sir, how cartilage reduce friction in joints?
Reduces?
Friction in joints, sir.
Yes. It is actually, see, at the end of the bones, they have been covered by the cartilage. Each of the bones have been covered by the cartilage, and that cartilage is very soft in appearance. You might have seen, if you are a non-vegetarian, you might have eaten it. Okay, the soft part we eat it usually during eating. The remaining part we leave it. The cartilage we eat it. So that softness, and the tissue is in such a way that it is actually like a cushion material. The hard material is there. Above that, it is capped by a soft material. So when similar opposite bone is there, the both the bones are covered by the cartilages now. So when they get in contact, there is a fluid present within that. Okay, synovial fluid we say. So
Yes.
already both the ends are covered by the cartilages, and there is a fluid continuously secreting over there. Okay, and like you can imagine, there is as you see in vehicles and all, there are some lubricants always kept over there, continuous movement. So similarly, there is a synovial fluid is there, and these surfaces have been made softer. They prevent always this friction due to the softness. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Anything else? Yeah. If it is clear, then shall I stop my class?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. Once
Thank
again.
you, sir.
Thank 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 you, sir.
Sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.